and welcome to Stage and Screen with me, Misha Bryan. I thought I'd make a solo episode so that I could introduce myself properly to everyone. But before I get into that, I just want to say a huge thank you to everybody who has downloaded and listened to and watched the podcast so far. I mean, it's been so brilliant, the response. We've had like thousands of views on YouTube, which is just like, oh my God, that's amazing. We've been ranking really well in Apple Podcasts. So I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone for tuning in and listening. And I'm loving the conversations that you're all having with each other down in the comments section. It's so nice. I can just sit there and just watch while you lot all have a chat. And it's really lovely. So please keep that up. Keep commenting, subscribe if you haven't yet, and keep liking. And if you've got any questions to ask me, then feel free, get in there. So, as usual, I have the lovely Darren behind the camera. Say hello, boobs.
Hello.
And it's absolutely boiling because we're in the middle of the heat wave that's happening. What are we, like mid-July, and it's just, it's a hot one. But we can't complain. Slightly apocalyptic, but we can't complain because at least we're getting a nice summer. Indeed. So yes, the solo episode. I'll probably do one of these every maybe 3 or 4 guest podcasts, just to break it up a little bit and just say if anything interesting has happened in life and just to say hi to you guys. So yes, I'm an actor, singer, session vocalist, vocal coach, presenter, and all of those things. And if you check out Session Stories, which is another one of the playlists on the YouTube channel, then you can see and hear about all the wonderful people that I've worked with. Or go to my sessions page on my website, actually, mishabryan.com. You can check out all the stuff on there. You can see who I've sung with and everything. Some people are like, I know your face, I know that face. And it's not off Crime Watch UK. It's definitely not that. And it's probably, I'd like to think it's because of my acting and stuff, because, the last year or so, I've been in EastEnders, Emmerdale, Casualty. I was in The Witches with Octavia Spencer, which is shown like every Halloween, every Christmas. And I'm that crazy person that's like trying to hit the mice as I'm running and screaming down the hallway. And I push Octavia Spencer into a room and just go, and start losing it down the hallway. Vocal coaching, I've coached on The Voice and stuff, and there was a program called Change Your Tune on ITV a little while ago, and I had some lovely students on that, and a couple of mine won, I had a little feature on there, so I thought, maybe it's because of that. It could also be because I've been on like stuff like Jules Holland, Jonathan Ross. I sang at Concert for Diana. With Bryan, and I also sang at Live 8. So I'm on the Live 8 DVD as well. And I'm like, maybe people know me from my session singing. It might be that. It never is. It's usually because people recognise Darren and I from having been on location on Channel 4. We've been on is it 3 times now, boobs? Yeah. 3 times, and we were asked to go back on a 4th time. We were like, is this overkill? Probably overkill. But yeah, that was really cool. And so we did the original episode, then we did a catch up, and Phil came to our house, and Darren and he got on like a house on fire. It was like I was the third wheel. It was another Darren Ashford bromance going on. There's always a bromance, isn't there, boobs? He's so personable. It's really nice to have a personable husband. And it was just great. Phil didn't want to leave, and it was just beautiful. He had his lunch here and everything, sat in the back room. I was like, this is wonderful. And then we did the 20th anniversary of the show as well. So sometimes we're walking through the supermarket and people are like, excuse me. And I'm like, it's probably from my Sealy darling from Birmingham Hippodrome. Yes, it's probably that. That's what it is. And it's not. It's always location, which is fine because we had a great time with Phil and Kirsty. Okay, so I should tell you a little bit about the stage and screen setup. It's not very big. It's going to take me like 2 seconds. It's basically me and Darren. That's it, isn't it, boobs? And sometimes we use our phones to film on. Other times we use Darren's posh cameras, which are a bit more high maintenance, but just brilliant in terms of the way the footage looks. We always use our little Rode microphones. That's about it, really, isn't it, bubs? It's very low key. We're keeping it, just nice and plain for you guys. But yeah, I'm hoping that you're liking the results. So yes, I'm here presenting it, and then Darren just does all the technical stuff basically while I'm drinking Ribena in sequins somewhere. So yeah, Darren does all the editing, make sure the sound's right, make sure the color balance is right. Does all the, well, we make all the shorts and everything. And we have lots of lovely, deep discussions about what should be added into the podcast, don't we, Boobs?
We do.
We certainly do. And obviously, the logo that you've seen at the beginning and end of each of the videos was designed by the amazing Lisa Marie Kutsia. And she has been designing all of my kind of promo stuff for years, gig posters, my album, my DVD, and now this. And she's just brilliant. The way she gets it like spot on immediately, you're like, okay, that's what I was talking about. Thank you very much. So yeah, contact her for design ideas because she's just the greatest. Let's just be perfectly honest about that. She's brilliant and she's really nice too. Okay, so we wouldn't be here and we wouldn't just have a podcast if it wasn't for wonderful, wonderful guests. And I just have to send huge love and a massive shout out to my first three guests, Mike Nolan, Mark Buckley, and John Shrezang, who just jumped straight into it with no questions asked. Thank you so much, guys, because you had no idea if this thing was going to be any good, but you loved me, and so you did it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So yes, Mike Nolan. So we know Mike. Is me jumping on it now? We. I know him now, but I know Mike because Darren plays drums with the Fizz. And Darren's been playing drums with him for how many years now?
I was going to say nearly 10.
Nearly 10 years.
I think so.
Doesn't time fly? Look at that, 10 years. Sorry, I'm going to have to fan. It's hot in here. So yes, that's how we know Mike. So through Darren playing the drums. And I remember they had a gig down south somewhere. Was it like a Butlins or something like that? And it was the first time I'd been a guest, kind of like just watching the gigs and stuff. And afterwards, Cheryl always has her knees up in her room because she's rock and roll like that. It's all back to Cheryl. I'm like, cool. And Mike was already sat on Cheryl's bed, I think. And I thought, oh, let me go and sit next to him. He's got a nice face. I do that. He's got the nicest face. Let's go and sit next to him. And I just remember my face hurting with him making me laugh all night. He's just so funny. And I was just like, I really like this. Mike's lovely. And then when he went off to bed, I was like, oh... my friend's gone. I was like, oh, I still got Darren though, so that's fine. Oh, and everybody else. But, oh, Mike, come back. So, yeah, just a wonderful, wonderful person. And we've been good friends since then. And he's the sweetest person. And really supportive. I remember when we were getting married, which is nearly 2 years, Bubs, in like 4 days' time or something insane like that. Where did the time go? And I was just getting ready, last few little bits of getting ready. And then Mike rang me on my phone. He was like, good, best of luck, have a good one and all that stuff. And it was so sweet. There is nothing like... overly pop star about him, you know, which is just amazing for someone who's been in the industry for 44 years. You'd think they'd have a bit more of an ego, but it's not. It's your mate Mike, and it's just lovely, lovely, lovely. So thanks, Mike. We love you. Oh yeah, don't forget, Mike's has got a part 2, so look out for that coming up in the coming weeks. I've got to release this, then I've got to release 2 more, and then oh man. Do you know what? Just look out for it. It's easier. So the next person that we had on was my friend Mark Buckley, the sound engineer, sound person, monitor engineer. And we've known each other for about 200,000 years, something like that, around about that. And he was the monitor engineer on my first ever tour that I did. Won't mention the band, wasn't the nicest experience, but I had a great feature. I had to sing Great Gig in the Sky, and it was a massive sing. It was and it took me like 3 days to learn the part, and I just had a huge headache, just a massive headache after learning it. But yeah, got the gig. And Mark was on sound, and he's just one of those solid people who is just real, right? He sold the facts. I love Mark. If you ever want to know the truth about something, give Mark a ring and you'll find out about it. In a good way, in a good way. And he was just one of those people who helped me to stay sane on tour. If you've already watched his podcast, I speak about touring being a microcosm and how everything just tiny things can just blow out of proportion, or you're just with everybody and the same people all the time. And it was nice to just be around Mark just a lot. It's got a lovely balance of kind of like checking in on you, knowing you were right, and actually just letting you have your space, as well as being the most ridiculous monitoring engineer I've ever worked with. And it's not just because he's my friend; it's a joke. Like I was ruined. That was like my first tour ever that I did, and it was like, oh, this is just how it is. It's not how it is. Mark's a freak. So yeah, and he remembered all of my frequencies and setup and low end and this and that, how many things to roll off. It's all very technical. I don't know about it. Years later, and the moment you step on stage, it's just a good sound. I mean, sound check is the quickest. It's really the quickest when he's back there. And so we did that tour. And then we all went our separate ways, and then I was started singing with Bryan Ferry and Roxy Music, and then we were doing a gig at, I want to say, Mabel's. Is it called Mabel's? I think it's called Mabel's, or somewhere like Quaglino's in central London somewhere, and then I just walked in for sound check, and Mark was there, and I was like, Mark Buckley! I was like so happy to see him. He was like, oh my God, it's so cool. So then we went off and did a whole other tour with Bryan Ferry and Roxy, and it was just brilliant. We haven't actually worked together again since then, but we've just stayed friends for the last, 199,000 years. So that's really nice. So thanks, Mark. We love you too. The third guest that we had on, John Shui Zhang. I didn't actually know him. He's a friend of my cousin's. Hi, Elijah. Hello. Thank you for hooking us up. And basically, I just emailed John. I was just really cheeky, because you got to be like that sometimes in life. If you want, you got to ask, and then you'll get, right? So I just emailed him. And like the way he got back to me, like almost instantaneously, I was like, this is the kind of person I need in my life. And you'll know from his interview that he's incredibly organized, that his inbox is like pristine, it's clean and sparkling in there, and there's just angels and fairies floating around in it. And just brilliant. So yeah, I knew from our email correspondence that we would get on really well, and that it would be a great interview. So thank you, John. You were amazing. Obviously, he and Darren had another bromance based on muscles, based on the guns, and that discussion has to happen. I think that discussion happens wherever Darren goes, actually. It's just one of those things. It's just one of the things. And hopefully, once Ram Man comes out, hopefully once He-Man comes out next year June, we'll maybe do a part 2. Maybe we'll get down to some martial arts. Maybe he'll show me a few moves, because clearly I need help. I need assistance in that department. So yes, thank you to our first 3 guests. Without you guys, there would be nothing, and you'd just be looking at me and my water bottle. Coming up, we have composer, saxophonist, writer, and he does stuff for film and TV and all kinds of things, John Altman. So that'd be really interesting. And then we also have Lee Hall, who's probably best known for writing Billy Elliot. So we've got those 2 coming up, and gosh, such the insights. It's so interesting. If I do say so myself, and I'm just like bouncing around like a puppy, like I did not know that. This is blah, blah, blah. So yeah, look out for those. We really hope you're enjoying the content so far, along with my little solo episode. And if you haven't already done so, please consider following, liking, subscribing, commenting, and all of that good stuff, because it does help us reach a wider audience. My name is Misha Bryan. This is Stage and Screen, and we'll see you on the next episode. Can't manage. Dai mia. Mamma mia.